And we proceeded to ignite.
Sports Xtra Cayman Islands.
So a young team full of talent, full of desire to do good things.
We've had some success with the outdoor league being restarted.
Good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman's Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin. Tonight we welcome the Cayman Islands Football Association President, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, is going to be in the studio with us tonight. He is here to discuss our local leagues, international competition, youth and school programs, and of course, lastly, the World Cup experience. That's right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more from Mr. Alfredo Whitaker in a minute.
Cayman Arts Festival 2023. From New York to London, landing in Cayman. 8 landmark events. Global music on the island's stage. On Tuesday, February 7th, 7 p.m. at the National Gallery. World-renowned cabaret vocalist Natalie Douglas.
My baby don't care for clothes. My baby don't care for shows.
Tickets are available at www.caymanartsfestival.com. For more information, call 922-5550 or email inquiries@caymanartsfestival.com. Natalie Douglas, live from the National Gallery, Tuesday, February 7th. The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Value Med Pharmacy, located on Walkers Road, Georgetown, and in Evron Plaza in Bordentown. Whether you're fulfilling a prescription, treating an illness, or just maintaining your personal health and wellness, look to Value Med Pharmacy for your personal care needs. Value Med Pharmacy, bringing you the 8 a.m. news Monday through Friday on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Radio Cayman News.
Small tremor off the coast of Cayman Brac. 4.4 magnitude earthquake, approximately 75 miles east southeast.
The 45-year-old Canadian man arrested with weapons at Owen Roberts International Airport appeared in court today.
As a young Caymanian, it gives me great pride to know that I will be contributing to policies.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news. RC Fusion.
Monday to Thursday.
10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Fridays. Radio Cayman.
Biggest variety in the morning. Biggest variety.
RC Fusion.
Following the 10 a.m. news headline.
Biggest variety in the morning.
Radio Cayman, the voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
All right. Good evening and welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. As you've heard previously, or if you're just tuning in, we're sitting in with the president of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Awesome.
And
You
thanks
look
for having
well.
me here.
Healthy, strong. You look good. You look like you're well rested.
Yes, I am
Yeah.
very much so.
Putting you on the spot. Alrighty, no problem. So, of course, we have you here to talk about all things football, local competition, international competition, our youth and school leagues, and we want to also touch on your Qatar experience last year. We're going to get into that later on in the show because we have you for the full hour. So I'm happy about that. It's always good to hear about, and people call me, if I do too much of a certain sport, I get calls like, I don't hear enough football. So so I'm happy to have you here. And I hope that particular person or persons are listening. So, can you give us let's start with you giving us an update on what's happening with football in our country at the moment. I know a few leagues are still in progress.
Yes, well, football is going pretty much wrapping up now.
Yeah.
This week, the 22nd of this month, we're going to have our first final. That is the President Cup final,
we have the two teams, that is Borden Town Sports Club, that will be facing Sunset.
Okay.
Then we have a couple of rounds left in our Premier League, a couple of rounds left also in our First Division and our Second Division, and the Youth League just started. Our female competition is swinging high, is on the high level. That is going well, so is exciting. Youth League just started.
Right, yeah, and that's at the SIFA field.
At the SIFA field, Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
So we just started the Youth League.
But it was only on Saturdays before, so now it's developed into Sundays. Or has it always been on Sundays as well?
No, is the younger kids, the 9 and 11, they play on Saturdays.
Okay, so the bigger kids.
The bigger kids, we throw them in on Sundays.
Okay.
We have to make a little adjustment on that. And the reason why we normally play in the middle of the week, the older group. So we right now at SIFA, that particular field is fully booked.
Right.
And I'm very happy about that. Friday, Saturday, Sundays, fully booked from 9 in the morning right down until 10 at night. So that's for us is satisfying. Is good to have. So the leagues are going very well, and also the preparation of our national teams is going well also.
All right, we'll get to the national team. As you speak of fields, how many SIFA fields do we have on island, and how many are in usage?
Right now, the Cayman Islands have a total of 6 football fields.
Okay.
So we have one in each district. We have SIFA Field, and we have our national stadium.
Okay.
So we play pretty much in every one except north side, that the field don't have the required size or measurement.
Okay.
So we cannot play there. But
are you guys working on that?
Yes, the minister for that district, he very keen in bringing football back. So we had conversation. I would be happy to have Premier League games playing there in Northside, and obviously youth leagues also to be played in Northside.
Okay.
So it's something in progress, and I'm sure that before the end of the year or going into next season, we will be having football again in Northside.
And the Ed Bush playing field is still in progress as well. You guys use that as well?
Yes, we use that, but we have to play early because of the light situation.
All right.
So we have to play there at 3:45. So the same situation in Central Georgetown.
Okay.
And then all the rest of the game is between Borden Town, East End, and SIFA.
So we need to get the lighting fixed in a few of those districts.
We need to get the light fixed so we could have some
nighttime games.
Some nighttime games, and players going to be a little bit more comfortable.
I know basketball right now is doing district leagues. So what's happening for the very first time, they're doing district leagues, and they're discovering a lot of talent in those districts. Do you guys struggle with, players coming from north side and east end, or what's that like for you guys? Do you usually have to take the league there to discover that talent, or that talent comes? You don't have a problem with it coming to Georgetown?
Well, for years, north side and east end had provided great players. At some point, East End had one of the best teams in Cayman.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I feel that we don't play much football in the district.
Okay.
I feel that at some point, until recently, when Dionne Brandon was appointed there, we start to see increase in football.
Yes, he's done a fantastic job on that side.
He did a tremendous job there, and we could have benefit.
Yeah.
A subject that some don't like, but is the truth. When we start to have a couple of good players that coming out from the district at whatever age group, could be 13s, could be 15, the other clubs or the bigger clubs from Georgetown, for some reason, they approach the players and the parents end up facilitating the players to go and leave Northside or East End to go and play with these clubs.
Okay.
So they continue to struggle because they keep losing players.
Right.
If they provide 6, 7, 8 good players at the end of the season,
they're all gone to different clubs.
They're gone to different clubs.
Yeah.
So that's a very unfortunate situation because we're not creating enough competition.
On that side.
On that side, right? Mm-hmm. So it slow a lot of things down. And we would have a couple of clubs that would have the best players.
Right.
And then the best players don't get competition because they are the best players.
Totally agree. They don't. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the other team that start to struggle, so the teams that start to struggle, for some reason the players start to lose interest and we lose players to different sports.
Right.
So that is the issue that we have in those districts, and believe me or not, some clubs in central Georgetown and even in West Bay are facing that problem.
I remember, I think it was last week, I spoke with Minister Seymour, Dwayne Seymour, the minister for Bodden Town, and he mentioned the sports playing or competing at different sports, competing at different time, coming together to discuss competing at different times throughout the year. Because, like you said, you lose athletes because your sport is probably with flag football and basketball, and that's the way you lose athletes. And vice versa, it goes not just for football, it happens with basketball as well, and it happens with rugby and flag football. They lose players to soccer because everything is playing in one season.
Right. When we are small community like Cayman, we cannot have different sports entity going at each other,
right,
or not communicating,
right.
And that is one of a major issue that we have. I don't like to use the word problems.
Right.
I like to use issues. One of the issues that we have is that we don't have that communication with the different sports entity, but
right.
we could easily organize so many things at the same time if we could have that communication.
Yes.
So, example, if we at CIFA are going to invite 2 or 3 teams from, let's say, Barbados, and we have communication with the basketball president, and we get in contact with the basketball president or the association president from Barbados, we could easily have a tournament, football, basketball, playing in Cayman.
Around the same time.
At the same time, right? Different time,
yeah.
But we could have that. And it would be a win-win situation.
Yeah.
And it could work for track and field, could work volleyball, it could work with every
that's such a magnificent idea. That's really good. I remember speaking with someone as well, I think it was the volleyball technical director, who is interested in forming a committee, a technical directors committee for every sport, every technical director to meet and have these kind of discussions so that, like that idea you just brought forward, things like that can happen. It'll be really good if we did something like that. You Barbados brings a football team, a basketball team, and a swimming team at the same time.
It could happen, and it's not nothing that difficult. We just need to have the will. We just need to have communication.
Yeah.
We just need to share information and come and really try to make the best of each association for the benefit of our athletes, not the individual, not the association, for our athletes, that at the end of the day we have that responsibility.
Right.
But we don't have that. And in the next meeting that we have at the Olympic Committee, when we get the opportunity, all of us, to get together, hopefully the new directors would give us that opportunity.
Yes.
Because under the leadership of the previous president, we never did get that opportunity to express ourselves. We always had that 5 minutes to tell each other what we are doing. And we never did create that atmosphere where we could exchange ideas, or where we could have different opinions, and where we could do something and benefit our athletes.
And I know, I'm jumping to the Sister Islands now. I know CIFA has a wonderful relationship with the Sister Islands, and a part of your season, a few of your teams head off to the Sister Islands, or that may be the clubs, but the team from the Sister Islands usually come to Grand Cayman to compete in your leagues. Has that been happening so far this year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. under my leadership, I expressed to our executive committee the need for us to assist the clubs at all age group, including the first division teams that have to travel to Cayman Brac with airfare. Because Cayman Brac had the unique situation that they would fulfill all of the games in Grand Cayman, but when we had to travel to Grand Cayman, the clubs would just forfeit because or they didn't have the funds to travel there, or they didn't have that time to go there.
Right.
So we get together as executive committee. The proposal was made. The proposal was passed. So every club, every age group that go to Cayman Brac, we pay for the airfare, and the clubs are responsible for food, accommodation, and transportation. That is not much. It's just overnight, and the kids would go and return the same day. So now Cayman Brac start to see their kids playing much more football.
Right.
They have a better assistance in this way of developing the program, and we start to see a terrific growth in football in Cayman Brac. So for the first time, Cayman Brac now have a U15 girls team.
Yes.
That going to be participating in the CIFA League.
Awesomeness. And is that credit to the Girls Football Festival that was held there late last year?
We have special interest in the girls.
Yeah.
So we start to see that program grow. I think the credit really go to Mitch and Sanford and his crew.
Yeah.
And
Most
we
definitely.
just help. The people that work, I will not, under no circumstances, I would take away and try to throw flowers on myself. The credit go to Mitch and Sanford and his group that he have in Cayman Brac. That is well organized, that is very hard working, and the only thing that we do is assist in where we need to assist, that is bringing football to the island.
What is the status of the players on Cayman Brac, and do they get a chance to try out for our national teams?
Yes, everyone get that opportunity. Our last U20 national team had 2 players from Cayman Brac.
Nice.
We soon start back our next youth group. There is a couple of players. We have to find a way to get them to train in Grand Cayman.
Yeah.
We have to find a way to take our training also to Cayman Brac. And I think that we will be successful. I think we could get more players from the Brac in this round.
Does CIFA still get the FIFA grant?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking how much is it, and how is the money allocated to the different programs, as within your leadership?
Well, FIFA grant for the Cayman Islands had increased because we had some funds that was there. We didn't have some requirement at the time, so CIFA hold those funds. In 2 years' time after my election, we managed to get all of those requirements in place.
Okay.
And CIFA was cleared, and we're back on that pretty white list that we're enjoying very much. So we have different numbers that come to the association. Some of them are for operational.
Right.
Some of them are for projects. Some of them are for different activities such as girls development, technical directors, training purpose, referees. So it's different numbers that come in. For this year, I could tell you that after the World Cup, we should be receiving, not in a lump sum, we should be receiving over $2 million.
Okay.
We have a project that we already started at CIFA with the 2 fields and the rest of the building that we expect to finish in maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit before. That going to be around $6 to $7 million, and all of that is FIFA funding.
Awesome. Good.
So we very happy to open my big mouth here and to say that the Cayman Islands Football Association are in very good standard with FIFA and CONCACAF. And all of this is because of the control and the balance that we had implemented at CIFA, the financial reports, the different audits. We have a total of mandatory 3 audits, and then by request we have additional audit that is done every year, so we don't have no issues. We present our finance to the members at our AGM. We leave it with them for them to review,
Right.
and a month time or 2 months time we call for an extraordinary meeting for them to approve the finance. So it's not, things are done different. It's not said that we sit there, this is our finance and you need to approve it now.
Right.
It don't work like that. We present, you stay with it, you take a look at it, we come back 2 months after. If there is any clarification that needed, we could provide you with that clarification. We have our auditors at the meeting with us. So you could go to bed and sleep good.
Right. And then this is also used. This is also used for like the national programs when the national teams are traveling as well.
Yes.
So like it covers hotel, food.
Yeah. Some like every other year, FIFA provide you with X amount of travel
Right.
allowance, and then another one for uniforms and so forth.
Right.
So this year we received $250,050 that don't cover all of our travels.
Okay.
That cover maybe 50% of our travels. I could give you a rough number right now. We have one game pending to Puerto Rico with our senior men national team. That game for us, with the stipend that the players receive and so forth, is it going to cost us easily like $110,000.
Right.
So that is where we are. So all the money that we receive, the clubs had benefit very well from it. Our national team players had benefit very well from it.
Right.
And as CIFA, as an entity, when I say an entity, we call all of our members, everybody could see exactly how the money is spent and where it's spent.
Awesome. Transparency is key.
Yeah, and you could also go on our CIFA website and you could see it there. So nothing is being hidden anymore.
Awesome. I like that. I know you mentioned previously the national teams are in preparation. You're preparing for particular tournaments coming up. What are you guys, what's looming right now with the national teams? What are they looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward in our senior women's national team.
Okay.
For the first time, the CONCACAF is organizing the Women's Gold Cup.
Okay.
For 2024. So our senior team would have the round of qualifiers later on this year, August, September.
Right.
And I'm looking forward in being a very surprising team. We know that our teams, especially at the youth level, had qualified in every single tournament to the final 16.
Right.
Now, when we go to the final 16, there we have the big guns.
Yes.
Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, Jamaica, you name it. But we there.
Right.
The highlight of this year was the performance of our little girls, the U15. Last year. They went to the CONCACAF tournament, and we finished, I think was 8th overall in the competition, and we finished 2nd in our group. That the only defeat we had was against Nicaragua. So that for us is telling us that what we're doing, despite some very few that don't believe that is going well, it proved that we're doing a good job with that. And that go towards our technical department, our coaches, the dedication, the commitment, and our volunteers that are doing a great, very great job with it.
Does FIFA or CONCACAF do like under 11 or under 12 international tournaments?
No, they don't.
Okay.
The youngest one that we have is the U14.
Okay.
at CFU, the Caribbean Football Union level,
Right.
that if you utilize it as a development program,
Right.
it would be great for you. But everyone would go with that age group that would only participate in that group. And then when you go to the U15, you have different players.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when you go to U17, there is not a continuation of these players. So at Caribbean level, we're not being successful.
Okay.
So we took a nice little group of 13, 12, and 11-year-old that was so enjoyable to share that week and a half with them was the best.
Where was this? Where?
This was in Dominican
In
Republic.
Dominican Republic.
So we had the best time, and we discovered so many good things about this age group.
Okay.
So we're going to have some of those kids that would play U15 and repeat U14.
Right.
So our program is going the right way.
Right.
So we expect very soon to start to win qualifiers group at CONCACAF level.
Awesome. Because it'll be nice to see. What do you call football at that level? I think in basketball, is it called kiddies basketball? What do you call it, football at that level?
We call it
under 11s.
the junior level.
Just junior?
Yeah.
Okay.
The development junior level.
Okay.
That would be for the
That would be so nice if one year we can have like an under 11 tournament, kids coming to the island to play against our under 11 kids. And, especially with the talent that we see in our leagues, the CUC league, PFL league, that's incredible.
We're in conversation right now with some MAs that we want to take a group of 13-year-old or 11-year-old
Right.
to this particular island. Basically, it would be St. Martin.
Okay.
They're split in two. So we could play against the French side, the Dutch side. We could play Anguilla. We could
Okay.
play St. Bart.
Okay.
Because everything is right there. We take
Right.
ferry, we go play, we come back. Right? So that is idea, that is plans that we're working on it right now. We would love for this tournament to take place in Cayman.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the prices of hotel in Cayman right now is completely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot afford to invite these clubs and pay those. So maybe we could get together with a couple of hotels and get them be the sponsor or something like that, and we could make this happen. But it would be great for our little youth in Cayman.
And it would be great if our hotels lower their costs.
Oh my God.
No, because you're not the only sport that complain. There are a lot of sports that will actually say that's the reason why they don't bring teams here, because the countries are complaining that our prices are a little too steep.
Yeah, right now we try and we run some budget, and for you to have idea, weekend tournament
Right.
with 3 teams, you're up to $200,000+ between food, accommodation, and transportation.
Yeah.
So that is unfortunately we cannot go with it. We have to look somewhere else.
Yeah. We'll do what's best for our kids. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about our international competition, of course, and World Cup experience. I want to hear all about it. All right, stay tuned. More Sports Extra in a minute. Stay tuned.
Grand Cayman's biggest one-day family fun day is back. The 54th Annual Agricultural Show at the Stacey Watler Agricultural Pavilion in Lower Valley. Ash Wednesday, February 22nd. Raffle tickets are on sale now. And for only $25, you can win $20,000 and so many other prizes. Raffle tickets include general admission to the show. For more information, visit them on Facebook or CaymanAgriculture.com. Don't be caught up by the weather again. Stay in the know with Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. weather report every Monday through Friday. Proudly brought to you by the Department of Environment, reminding you to respect the marine parks and fish responsibly. Download the Cayman DOE app today.
Find out about all the community happenings from non-profit, community fundraisers, church events, and more with Radio Cayman's Community Bulletin Board 3 times daily. Don't be the one to miss out on the latest information for events taking place every day on all 3 islands. Radio Cayman's Bulletin Board, brought to you by UCCI. Visit www.ucci.edu.ky. Choose your dream and blaze your trail today.
And by GNC, conveniently located in Queens Court, 7 Mile Beach and Country Corner. GNC, more than sports, all fitness, mind and body.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
Shaken yet standing firm.
I was not built to break.
This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Welcome back to Radio Cayman's Sports Extra. You know, I love the break. The break is when you hear everything. The break is when you get the breakdown and everything. I know it's 7:34, and I want to get to your World Cup experience. World Cup last year was held in Qatar, and you were there.
Yes.
Were you there for the entire experience?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah? Okay, well, do share with us. You know, tell us a little bit about your experience in Qatar. I've heard that that Qatar was the best World Cup ever. That's what everyone is saying. You on social media, it was the best World Cup ever in terms of the organization, the venue, the food, the level of football. What were your thoughts?
I totally agreed.
Yeah.
Despite the other criticism and stuff, was very refreshing.
Yes.
To walk in a stadium and have this clean atmosphere, to watch the spectators leave without any fight, to watch the quality of players that we had.
There was no alcohol served as well?
No alcohol served.
Right.
The entire surrounding of the World Cup was so exquisite.
Right.
From walking on the street with no fear of anything, the beauty of the city and the people, the different culture, the opportunity to share with different nationalities without having any argument, and the whole entire show that the Qatar Association put on was out of this world.
Yeah.
So that was a one-time experience, from waking up in the morning at 7 o'clock and taking that metro to watch the first game at 10 and move to the other game and move to the other game.
That's what you just did that all day. You did that one game to the next all day.
To watch 21 games in a World Cup, including the final, is impossible for that to happen again.
Yeah, of course.
So this was, for me, was the best.
How many games did you witness?
21.
You all 21?
All 21.
See? Oh boy. All right, well, you know.
And the prices was very good.
Yes, that's what I heard as well.
The prices was extremely good. It wasn't a killer. You didn't have no one outside the stadium. Well, you did have people that could make it, that tried to sell, but you couldn't sell for more than what you so the black market was not there.
Like Qatar is a very rich country, and they can afford it. The level of display that you guys saw there, they can afford that.
That and more.
Yeah, exactly. They can hold another one in 4 years.
Easily.
Yeah.
The stadiums are like there. The first time that I experienced going to the bathroom and you have someone waiting for you to finish to mop the floor for the other person to use it.
Yeah.
That is unique.
First class. First class bathroom treatment.
Yeah.
Well, Qatar, I wanted to ask this because Qatar with the heavy heat wave, it's about 100 and something degrees there, right?
Yeah.
How were the players able to play football in that open air? At that level of heat.
Well, amazingly, because of the air condition system that was installed in the stadiums, the players was complaining about being too cold.
Really? How did that work?
Right?
Yeah.
So
oh my.
We as spectators also start to get a little chill.
Okay.
So after a couple of games, they decide to go to and turn the air condition down. So it was really fresh and nice.
Wow. So
right?
So there was like an air conditioned system in the open air where
the air conditioned system, you could see it around the stadium where they have it.
And it still
right?
kept chilled even though you guys were in open air.
Yes, but Qatar at that time of the year, November, December, January,
yes,
and part of February is very cold.
Okay. So you experienced
very, very cold.
Okay.
Yes.
The chill.
Very, very cold.
In the daytime as well?
Daytime, yes.
Okay.
It's fresh, like, I would say, like 70s.
Okay.
So it's very fresh.
Okay.
But fresh and nice was good.
Was good.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I know Brazil is your team.
Yes.
Am I correct?
You're correct.
Brazil is your team. But do you think the two best teams made it to the final? Argentina and France?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I obviously wanted Brazil to make it to the final. There was too many distractions in the team. I never see that unity, and I didn't see a strong team. I didn't see this determination. Too many distractions. And Argentina came from less to more.
Yes.
And they, as a unit, and you could see it when they would go and fight for a football 50-50 challenge. They always win it. And my other finalist was between Croatia.
Okay.
And France.
Yeah.
We had Morocco that did a great job, and then at some point you go like, wait a minute, they could make it to the final.
Yeah.
So was a final that was expected, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I was very happy with the end of it. A part of being a Brazil fan, when you have these talented players that you don't see them too often, they don't come around too often, it would be very sad for them to retire their career without winning that great trophy. They have everything else, so
exactly.
it was good. And I'm very happy for all of my Argentinian friends that I have around the world.
What was that experience like for you, seeing Messi finally getting his flowers as he deserved?
We had the opportunity to watch 3 of Argentina games.
Right.
And when you go and you watch this little person, what he does on the field, that sometimes you don't see it on the TV.
Right. It's so true, huh?
It's so amazing, right? When you see the way he directing his team and so forth. Sometimes he run, sometimes he not run, he don't run, but he always there when they needed him. And that was the highlight, just to watch him play. Same as Luka Modric and some other big star. Watch Luka Modric play, you go like, wow, this man is unbelievable, right? And then you watch the Mbappe and you watch these big names and you say like, this is totally different than what you see on TV.
Totally. It's a much different experience in
Yes.
person than what you see on TV. I'm very sure of it. I always said that, you don't get to see, I am sure we are not really seeing what Messi is capable of on because we're seated behind the screen.
Yeah.
But in person, you get to see, you follow everything, right?
Yeah.
When you're there. It was amazing. The final.
It was
amazing.
It was the best.
Yeah, it was the best final. And
from the atmosphere, the teams coming to warm up, and the whole crowd. Oh my God, was like.
And you know what I loved? Even other teams were also happy for Messi. And that was love.
Yes,
I appreciated that, seeing that, something like that.
Yes, was very unique.
Yeah. Because it's about time.
Yeah, when you have all of the other teams, right, that show that respect and show that admiration and show that happiness. Even the French players at the end of the game, and I'm pretty sure they went on commercials, and they didn't show that part of it. All of them came and embraced him and congratulate him. There wasn't that animosity at that point, and it was good. And there was a lot of little friction on the during the game.
Of course.
But after the game was unity and good sportsmanship. Very good.
Awesome. And speaking, as we're speaking of the great Messi, we also lost a great last year as well in Pele. How did that affect you?
Was a very sad moment.
Yeah.
Me and our General Secretary Marcos Tinoco, we was talking about it, and I don't know if the world is ready to mourn the loss of Pele, right? Because we kind of knew that he was in a difficult situation and that we could receive the bad news any minute. It was a sad day for us that admire him so much, for us that have him, for me, the best football player ever. I don't think you're going to have another Pele ever. Was sad. His death impacted the world so much that it even overshadow the celebration of Argentina winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? So at that point, the moment they announced his death, everybody just went on this side, like the sadness, and completely forget about Argentina and Messi had just won the World Cup.
I think he planned it.
Yeah.
It was. It was sad.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You know, people always say, and I hear it, and I'm sure you've heard it as well, Maradona, they compare Maradona to Messi, saying that they're both, either one is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Yet when you see footage of them, you see similarities to Pele. Who, in your opinion, is the greatest? You mentioned it. You mentioned that you think Pele is...
No doubt about it.
Is the greatest. Why?
Because what Pele did, right, is things that other players just doing. So everything, every trick, every play, every fantasy that you could see right now, Pele already did it. Right? When Pele used to play, in his days, the coaches used to send direct instructions. Go and make sure you kick him as hard as possible. The referees never did protect him.
Yeah.
Right? Now, these players, you touch them, they drop. And oh my God, you have to wait 10 minutes for them to stand up, and the medical and the ambulance and everything.
And not one thing wrong sometimes.
Right? And 5 minutes after,
fake.
They drop again, and they drop again, and they continue to drop. Pele never did drop. And when he dropped was because of the barbaria that he was experiencing. Right? So just that alone make him the best player. A part of that, his personal life. He's very clean hygiene in his personal life. So when he went on the field, he was 100% natural, pure organic stuff. Right? He didn't have nothing different inside of him. So that combined with his natural ability and his talent and his creativity and all of these fantasies that he had simply would make him the best of all time. There is no doubt about it.
Who's next, do you think? If you had to choose someone else other than Pele?
Ronaldinho.
Yeah. Old school.
Yeah, Ronaldinho. And believe it or not, there was one player in Central America by the name of Jorge the Magic Gonzalez.
Okay.
That is one of the top players in the world. I would put him in that category where you have the Johan Cruyff on them.
Okay.
So for me, first Pele, and afterward Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho is my second best player.
Okay. So you're biased. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay,
something like that.
Okay, all right. And you can correct me. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but USA has never moved on beyond the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, right. What do you think it needs to be done to get them to the next level, you think?
I think they're going to get there very soon.
Say that again, sorry?
They will get there very soon.
Very soon, okay. I mean, their women are there.
Yeah, but that's a different story.
It's a different story. I'm just saying if the women can do it,
right.
There's potential for the men.
The men don't face the competition, or the women don't face the competition.
Type of competition the men do. Okay.
And the reason why I said that they're going to be there very soon is because they start to have a very solid youth program.
Right.
If you look at the USA senior men national team, throughout the qualifiers, they play around 28 different players, and all of them are coming from the U17s, U20s, U15 national teams. So these players have the opportunity that when they're 15 and 17, they participate around the world in different tournaments that is being organized in Spain,
right.
in France, in Germany. So when it's time for them to play at the big stage, they have no fear, right? We have the talent, but we lose players.
Right.
We face couple of things like kids' exams, family vacation. We already have this plan. Long weekend, we're going away. If you want to organize something on a long weekend, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult.
The parents already have plans with the kids.
To take
and they're
them
going away on a long weekend.
Regardless, finals or what, they're gone.
They're going away,
yeah.
right? So
always bugged me.
Some other countries don't face that.
Yeah.
Because they have a commitment, and the parents have that commitment with the kids and with the association. But they live, they breathe and eat football.
Right.
We in this part of the world, we're not that passionate still about it.
I think I've heard a story once where they said if for America the main the number one sport is
baseball
and American football. And because there weren't any programs or there wasn't a girls program for American football for women yet, all the girls went to play soccer. And that is why the majority, if not all of the girls in America, you can ask them, most of them that are here have played soccer, but the boys haven't.
Right.
That's because they were busy playing baseball and American football.
Yep.
So men never really got the development the women did.
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, so
that's correct.
Yeah, but the roles are reversing now, and you're seeing where it's developing now because they're realizing how important the sport of soccer is.
Yep, and the number of academies
yes.
that had opened in the U.S. and now MLS
right.
start to look and say, wait a minute, we need to go this direction
right.
also. So there is MLS A and MLS Pro and MLS this and MLS that. So they have this massive program that is picking up all of the youth development. So I think very soon, they have Mexico under control right now.
Yes.
That used to be the so-called king of our region.
Right.
So recently they start to beat Mexico at club levels, at national team levels, and I think they're very, very, very close to get that big step that in World Cup.
Awesome.
So we see how it goes.
What was that like? Your first, second, or third World Cup experience?
My fifth.
Your fifth?
Yes.
I was off just by 2. All right.
But the previous one
with France winning the championship.
Just a couple of games.
Yeah.
And back home.
But this one, you say I'm gonna watch all 21.
This one not going to happen anymore. So.
Yeah. Awesome. What now we can move back. I guess it's 7:51, so we're going to move back into our leagues and our tournaments. Have you seen, Mr. Alfredo? Have you seen an improvement in the relationship between our players and our referees?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And I'm very clear with this. Yeah. It's 50-50. Sometimes the referees do things in a way that don't make the players happy.
Yeah.
As a former player,
and a former referee,
right? Mm-hmm. When you prepare yourself the whole week for this particular game, and these decisions that are very clear are not being called in your favor, you become frustrated and you start to lose belief and respect. That's from the player's part.
Right.
From the referee part, sometimes you're being refereeing a very good game, but you always have or a coach or assistant coach or 3 players that every time you make a call, regardless of that being the correct call, they always complaining that coming at you. So,
and they forget these referees are human as well, huh?
They
referees take the most abuse in sports. They take the most abuse. It takes a thick skin to be a referee.
It takes a little bit more than a thick skin.
Exactly.
Right? You have to be emotionally so stable.
Yeah.
You have to be mentally so strong.
Right.
And you have to be, your brains have to be prepared that regardless of what you're receiving, to do the right thing. Right? Because if you constantly coming at me, it's very easy to do the wrong thing.
It's very easy to spite you.
Right?
Because
I could spite you easily.
I have the power.
And I could just keep my calm and talk to you and try to cool you down instead of just sending you off, end of the problem.
Right.
Right? So, I would definitely love to see a much better relationship, but I would always love to see the standards of a referee to be consistent. If you're going to make bad calls, everyone should make bad calls.
Right.
And not one making this call good and the other one making the call bad. If you're going to be a player, or for the players, come and play football. Right? Because sometimes by going at the referee, you're making more mistakes than referee bad calls.
Yeah.
You know? And I think is a world crisis that is taking place.
Well, of course.
I'm not sure if because of all of the direction. I think, I think
people are also not ready to accept their losses. Usually it's the team that loses that makes the most noise.
Yep.
Right? The referees can make the most mistakes on a winning team. You're not going to hear any complaints.
Yep.
It's only the team
correct.
that loses.
The only thing that I will never ever be in agreement with is when we want to take it to a different level and we start to have these little violence here and violence here.
Yeah, don't put your hands on the referee.
That is zero tolerance. I would go as far. Don't put your hand on the opponent.
Yes.
Right? Challenge the ball and put your foot hard, but don't put your hand in the opponent. We have a couple of little scenarios there. We managed to.
I was just about to ask how have you guys dealt with that?
We managed to, and it's through communication, right? It's not always coming with the axe. We have to sit down and we speak with them, and we start to see totally different, and the team improve.
Right.
The less you talk and the more you play, you concentrate more on the game, and your game is a better game. So, but I would definitely love to see a much better relationship and more quality on both sides.
Awesome. And currently, you have quite a few players that are playing abroad, and that's college. I don't even want you to talk to me about that because I know it's quite a few of them abroad playing college level football. But what about internationally playing at a pro level or semi-pro? We don't have the time for that.
No, we have time. From what we know.
Yes.
Elijah Seymour was in Romania. We have Fredericks,
right?
That was away. And then we had a rumor that was here that one player had signed a contract in Italy. That is completely false. So we only have, from my understanding, we have 3 players, and the third one is Leighton Thomas,
right?
That refused to come and play for his national team, right? So we don't count with him anymore because regardless of the number of situation that we had with him, he never did accept any one of our invitation, and we didn't really exercise the the power that we have, where the club would have to release whatever time we request a player. So we leave it there. So players that we know right now is Fredericks and Seymour that are one in Romania. Actually, all two of them is in Romania, and I know that they're trying to relocate or go somewhere else. Romania is difficult to live, to play, and to eat. Especially the food is not the best. For those that had been there, they know what I'm talking about. But those are the players that we have overseas, and the rest, like what you correctly say, we have them in clubs, and some of them are not really playing.
No.
Right.
Some of them are trying out. Like
some of them are just trying out.
Coach Huta had about two that recently tried out for, was it FSC Premier Team?
Yes,
yeah.
But we don't have no information about
on
them.
That, yeah.
When you try to have a communication or get feedback, it's zero.
Yeah.
So these players go there, they try out, and that's it.
Yeah.
Simple tryout.
Based on how well they do, they might give you an update.
Yes.
Right?
So, yeah. But we're not going to lie about that. We do have a good number of players that right now in school that doing very well. Mason Duval did extremely well in his school. We was expecting him to be in the draft for the MLS. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. But Mason have the potential to play at a good level in a club, right? So we expect that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by Radio Cayman Sports Extra. It's always, that's why I said, I'm not going to give Mr. Alfredo half an hour because I know that this can go on for 2 hours.
Yes.
So I appreciate you coming by and spending an hour with me.
Well, I appreciate you giving me this hour. Yeah. There's much more good things that we could talk about.
Of course.
But we leave it here, and then in the next time, we talk a little bit more about what is.
Because I know you had a few referee courses and stuff that took place as well.
Yes.
I would have loved to touch on. I had it in my notes to mention it, but we got carried away with World Cup.
Yeah, we have plenty of things for this 2023, and we have plenty more things good things, fortunately, to talk about. So
I could have you on again. Don't worry about that. Yeah. It's not going to be a one-time thing. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's it for Radio Cayman Sports Extra for tonight. Of course, Sports Extra is about giving you the latest information on sporting activities here in the Cayman Islands. And if you would like the opportunity to be featured on our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextracayman@gmail.com. All right. And you can also check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra social media pages to keep up to date with everything that's happening here in the Cayman Islands. You also like to hear this segment, you can also check out our YouTube channel. All right, I'm Dionne Anglin. Alfredo Whitaker, good night to you.
Good night to you.
And to our listeners, good night and God bless. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Radio Cayman Sports Extra.
As a coach, I thoroughly agree. The athlete has just qualified for the World Championship on the biggest stage in a bar. The guys have we've been training for the last 5 months now, so and they're all high in spirit that they're going to do well.
It was really infectious. I mean, for a 4-day meet with 2 sessions each day, that's pretty exhausting, and these kids were just rocking for the whole weekend, so.
Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman.